I used to stare at my reflection, wondering why my bro's beard looked clean as hell while mine looked dusty. But I was actually sabotaging my own growth with one mistake 90% of guys make every single morning. I was out here trying every DIY trick I can find, watching countless YouTube videos that promised the world. But after working with over 100,000 guys and finally figuring out what was wrong with my beard, I discovered something that changed everything. Today, I'm going to show you the exact 5-step system that took me from looking crusty to crispy. Now, you probably thinking, this is going to be expensive, or I got lucky with genetics, or some complicated routine that takes forever. None of that's true. I'm going to prove it to you in the next 9 minutes. For 3 years, I thought beard growth was all about oils and serum. I was wrong, dead wrong. Imagine you're trying to water a plant, but the soil is completely clogged with trash. Doesn't matter how much water you pour on top, nothing is getting through to the roots. You can keep pouring water all day, and ain't nothing gonna happen. Like 90% of guys, I was skipping the one step that actually matters, then wondering why my $40 worth of oils wasn't doing nothing. The change came when I finally realized something. You can't grow anything if your skin is all clogged up. I threw out that regular shampoo and got a proper beard wash. Not your regular shampoo, not the 2-in-1 nonsense from the drugstore, a dedicated beard wash. And look, I get it. That cheap product looked real tempting, but using regular shampoo was like washing my face with bleach. I learned the hard way to avoid anything with sulfates or alcohol. Those ingredients were murdering my beard. They dried me out, making me look all homeless. What saved me was activated coconut charcoal. This stuff became like a magnet for all the nasty buildup, suffocating my beard. Dirt, excess oil, product residue, pollution, all of it. But here's the key. I do it once or twice a week, max. Lather it up gently, massage it into your beard like you would shampoo, then rinse it out. After just 3 weeks, my beard felt cleaner, softer, and suddenly my beard products actually started working. But if you want some help styling your beard, I got a link to a free guide down below in the video description. Even after cleaning properly, I was still frustrated. Why am I not seeing real growth? Now, I'm gonna let you onto something most black men never realize. Just because you can't see hair doesn't mean it's not trying to grow. Think about it like this. I had muscles under my skin, but when I never worked out, they just sat there doing nothing. My beard follicles were exactly the same, especially underneath my chin. They're there, but they needed stimulation to actually do something. What I'm about to show you looked terrifying at first, but it became my secret weapon. I pulled out what looked like a medieval torture device. This is called a Dermarolling. I know, those are real needles, and yes, it looks intense. At first, I thought I would be insane to use this, but thankfully, I found out that I only needed to use it 1 to 2 times a week to completely transform my beard. That's it. 7 days between sessions, and I was basically sending a wake-up call to every follicle on my face. I got a 0.5 millimeter roller. That's the sweet spot. Any smaller was useless. Any bigger, I was drawing blood like I was in a horror film. I worked in sections, slowly rolling back and forth 8 to 10 times, then moving on. It felt like a mild tingling, not some sort of torture. If you're trying this for yourself and it feels like you're being stabbed or you're drawing blood, you're going way too hard. The direction didn't matter much, but I made sure not to overroll the same area or I'd just irritate the skin. And that brought my beard back to life, and those bald patches underneath my jaw would start to fill back in. Now, if you do 1 to 2 weeks of weekly dermarolling, you'll start seeing new hair sprout in previously patchy areas. But then I made the stupidest mistake possible. Imagine you spend all day slow cooking the perfect roast, getting it just right. Then you leave it out on the counter, and overnight, it just goes bad. All that time and effort wasted. You forgot the most important step, protecting the work. by putting it in the fridge. The same thing happened with my beard. I was growing new hair, but I wasn't protecting it. And all those new hairs would just snap off into a brittle, flaky mess. This is what separated me from the guys with impressive beards. They knew this secret I didn't. After I did the cleansing and Dermarolling, I had to follow up with a leave-in beard conditioner. I focused on the tips of my beard. That's where the oldest, most fragile hair lives, and I make sure not to wash it out. Now, if you want to get a conditioner, look for products with aloe vera. This stuff is brilliant because it hydrates deep into the hair shaft, calms any irritation from the derma and softens everything up so it's not scratchy and uncomfortable. I had to seal all that moisture in with an oil. Now, there's loads of options here, and I've tried a lot. What actually worked for me was quite simple: jojoba oil. It stopped all that nasty stuff that causes flakes, weird smells, and breakage. So what I grow, I actually got to keep. After a few weeks of proper hydration and sealing my beard, it felt significantly softer, looked healthier, and I stopped losing length to breakage. Dudes started stopping me in the street and asking what I was doing differently. But here's when I realized I've been throwing money down the drain. And many black men overlook this because they think it don't matter. I was spending $50 on bottles of oil for my beard while living off pizza and energy drinks. It's like trying to fuel a Ferrari with cooking oils. The engine might turn over, but you're not going anywhere fast. Everything we talked about so far, those are the extras. Tools to maximize your natural growth potential. But the actual foundation, the stuff your body uses to build each individual hair, that comes from what I was putting in my body every single day. Now here's what I tried that became the absolute must-haves for me. Protein, at least 0.8 grams per pound of body weight daily. After all, hair is literally made of protein, healthy fats, omega-3s from fish, nuts, and seeds. These kept my follicles healthy. Complex carbohydrates like sweet potatoes, oats, quinoa. These provided steady energy for hair production. Then to give my beard the extra edge, there are 3 specific supplements that I found really helped. Biotin helps your body produce keratin, which is literally what your beard is made of. Think of it like giving your body more building blocks. Vitamin D3. Most guys are deficient in this, especially if you work indoors all day. Low D3 levels have been linked to slower hair growth. And for black men, this is particularly important because we're more prone to being deficient. And zinc, 11 milligrams daily. This mineral is crucial for hair follicle health and hormone production. Which brings us to the final step. And this is the one mistake that kept me stuck in the awkward phase for ages. I was treating my beard like a lottery ticket, and I'd be hoping and praying something works instead of knowing it will. And to be honest, I was completely winging it. I see some products on Instagram, use it for 2 weeks, then wonder why I wasn't seeing any changes. Look, even the best routine in the world couldn't help me if I wasn't moving with intention. Growth doesn't come from hope, it comes from having a proper game plan. Here's what changed everything for me. I built a routine that fit my actual life. Not something that looks impressive on paper, but something I can realistically stick to for 3 to 4 months. Because when I was in the thick of it, day-to-day changes are impossible to spot. But weekly photos, that's where I actually saw the transformation happening. With intentional tracking, I had undeniable proof of my progress, which kept me motivated during the awkward growth phases that trip up most guys. Now you actually know how to build a solid beard care routine. But that's just the beginning, bro. You can spend months growing it, but if you get the style wrong, all that effort is gonna go to waste. If you finally want that powerful beard that turns heads, you need to watch this video next.